give away the product. So here again is a strategy. Here's another strategy that Steve Chilton taught you this morning, will know a lot about because he's involved in OSM. Who's it along here mentions crowdsourcing? Earlier. You did. Okay, here's the example. Turn to people as a crowdsource, a source of energy and time and effort for your new ideas. All the jogging, takes a GSM kit with them, and actually begins to digitize, to record in digital form the locations of roads and places and objects and so on. And OSM is now a totally global, enthusiastic community of people who are contributing this effort to producing a complete map of the world. All the streets, all the places, all the place names and so on. And it's making a phenomenal process. Last year, when Haiti was struck by an earthquake, one of the first people on the spot was a group of enthusiasts who said, how can we help the rescue effort? And one of the first things that we were told was, we don't know where anything is. We don't have all the maps. So the first thing they did was got in there, swiftly created a mapping infrastructure, went round with a GPS handhelds, and actually began to map the various locations of maybe where buildings had collapsed, where people were dead, where rescue services and tents and all and medical facilities were available and so on. And that became a powerful story for the power of crowdsourcing. You can do what Amazon tried to do with Mechanical Turk, which is again, people can answer questions for you. So people come to your website and say, hey, can anybody answer this question? Then you get, instead of you get an expert spending all their lives answering the question, you put it out to people on the web, on the internet. Let them answer it as best they can. I think those of you who are maybe ethically minded, community minded, want to develop social enterprises, this, it seems to me, is a great way to go to develop e-social enterprises. Let me skip this one. These are naughty but nice kind of creative ideas. In other words, set up services which are live on the internet. Well, that's what marketing is all about, so there's nothing different there. Oh, yes. Don't think that to be successful you have to be complex. This has been going, it's now in the 16th year. Anybody know the name of Craig Newmont? Anybody? Well done, Craig Newmont. Not your friend down in Hampstead.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you do know. Okay. This is one of the most profitable websites on the whole web. Craigslist. It's been in the business of selling small ads for 16 years. Look how simple it is. Look how unadorned it is. There's no flash animations or introduction sequences. And it's a trick that obviously you know who has perfected. Keep it simple, keep it quick. You don't have to be complex. You get started quickly and easily. As long as your idea, your core idea is good. Okay. Your business modeling can also be equally simple. I love this. Emily Bell, she left these shores after working on our national newspaper, the Guardian newspaper for many years, as their digital supremo, and she's now working in the States. She says that there are actually only 3 e-business models. There they are. So if you want to know from the horse's mouth, from a real expert who knows what we're talking about, what the 3 fundamental e-business models are: get big, get small, or get out. You know, in other words, know your exit strategy. Okay. Guy Cooney, who's a very well-respected IT journalist in the UK, also has a simplified view of what e-business modeling is all about. He simply says there are only 2 ways to get more money out of your customers. One is charge more per minute, or the other one is to make spend more minutes on the services. Everything else is pointless. And actually, this is interesting because there's a whole new industry now looking at stickiness on the web. Are you all familiar with stickiness? Hands up, yes? Yeah, excellent. No hands. Okay. E-business modeling. This almost comes, no, not quite got to question number 6. I'll answer question number 6 in a minute. We're almost the answer to question number 6 when we look at these 2 guys who created you know what, with a giveaway model, give away all the information, all the services free, and then get your money elsewhere. And we know how they got their money elsewhere. And your question gives us an insight into that model. Right. The freemium model, there it is basically, and Spotify, which is a music download website, which is question 7. Oh, you got it right, music. Yeah. Their business model is give as much of it away free as the customer wants, but they get low quality. And if they don't want good quality, they do it. So it's free and clean and convenient.
Without commercial.
Sorry?
Without commercial.
Yeah.
That's what that's
Right. So you get the free to
But this thing at the bottom here is very important. It's very popular in the UK. It's very popular in Europe. But hardly exists in America. The reason how it exists in America is because of the resistance of American music companies to allow anything for free to be available, anything that wasn't free on the internet. There are various ways to hack into Spotify from the US, and you look up you'll find many of those ways. But it's another example of the geographical lumpiness of cybersphere, where some things are available in some countries but not in others for various reasons, whether ideological, commercial, or whatever. Okay, I'm almost done. Let me pose, as I approach the end of this talk, what might seem to be a heresy to many. And heresy is in this question. Shouldn't we be looking for an alternative to Web 2? I don't mean O'Reilly's idea for Web 3, by the way. Those of you who know that Web 2 is a phrase coined by O'Reilly the publishing O'Reilly the publisher. I'm looking for something else. You remember that Web 1 was an internet or a web to sell products. Web 2 is basically an internet of people where people can interact, community, social, Facebook, social media and so on. My proposal is that maybe we should start thinking about a Web X, where the internet becomes an internet of things, of objects. What exactly does this mean? Well, supposing every single object in your house was connected to some digital master center that could organize it. And I don't just mean the fridge and the front door down the heating system. I mean everything. Where did you put your magazine? Where did I put my spectacles? I was using them to read a few minutes ago. Every single object would be contactable electronically, digitally, through the internal network of the house. The phrase ambient technology is actually widely now used for this kind of idea. The idea that every object in the world, all billions or trillions of them, could have its own radio tag, thank you for those who mentioned RFID earlier, and its own URL. So if you contacted it by NFC, near field, or medium field communication, it would tell you what it is. It would tell you who owned it. It would tell you how much it was said. Or I want to be moved, or I want to be cleaned, or whatever. Okay? What a phenomenally different way of thinking about the universe. Not just privileged people or services or products or companies are accessible in cybersphere, but every single object. Where did I put this last? You know you phone yourself because you don't know where your mobile is, your cell phone is. Well, this is another way of getting an answer to that question. How many of you read science fiction from time to time? Man after my own heart. Thank you so much. Just one. Oh, there's two. Okay. Rainbow's End. A mathematician, for goodness gracious me, Werner Winger, multiple award-winning sci-fi fiction, wrote this book just 4 years ago called Rainbow's End. This is a world set, a story set in the world which is entirely interactive. You've got to read it to believe it and to see how this could work itself out in, say, 20, 30 years' time. But it will also give you phenomenal ideas of how to capture that kind of new infrastructure, environmental infrastructure, ahead of time. If you think it's far-fetched, there are already journal papers exploring how to augment the environment with embedded wireless technologies. So it's coming. The question is, are you ready for it? Do you know what you're going to do with it when it arrives? There's SRI, the consulting service, has already got a technology roadmap for this technology for the next 15 years. The IT Union, the European Union, sorry, the United Nations Technology Union has also got its own sort of technology development roadmap for it. So don't be left behind. Think about these things. These are the cutting edge of new developments. Right, last idea. This is for me the central challenge of e-marketing and social media. And I'm going to put it in the words of Dean of Journalism at Northwestern University, John Levine. You have this tidal wave of information. You know it. Every time you go to Facebook or tweet, Twitter and all the rest of it, it just comes at you incessantly. But nobody has a second more time in their lives. So you've got an immovable object and the old story. What are you going to do about it? The problem is that we're living in what Thomas Davenport and John Beck, two American authors, called just a few years ago an attention economy. They said everything else, all these e-business models, the social marketing ideas, mean nothing. What's important is, can you grab somebody's attention online? If you can't, you're dead commercially. So we're competing with everybody else for eyeballs, for attention. That's the fundamental challenge of being online for us e-marketers. And that's my prediction. If you can solve that problem, each in your own individual way, with the kind of creative developments that I've suggested you can easily accomplish, one by one or in small groups and teams, within 2 or 3 years you could actually be going back here, shaking you up by the hand and saying, Ivan, I'm now the richest person in the planet, here's $10. Thank you very much.